asked the people of Carroll County where their tap water comes from.
The tap water comes from the river here in Carrollton and goes through the water treatment plant.
Carrollton's tap water comes out of the faucet when I turn the faucet on.
Out of the water faucet? I'm not sure where it exactly comes from.
I know it's processed through Carrollton Utilities.
They were surprised and a little confused to learn that the source of their water is actually an alluvial aquifer.
Alluvial aquifer. I have never heard of it.
I don't know anything about an alluvial aquifer.
I have no idea what an alluvial aquifer is.
Much of the Ohio River Valley, including areas like Carrollton, sit on top of an underground aquifer.
An aquifer in general is a water-bearing formation in the ground, and that can be rock or sand and gravel. And in the case of an alluvial aquifer, like at Carrollton, it's what we call an unconsolidated formation. That means it's loose sand and gravels in a container, and it's unconfined. That means that the water table is free to move up and down in a loosely cemented matrix of sand and gravel.
This loose sand and gravel, also known as alluvium, acts as a filter and gives it its distinction as an alluvial aquifer.
It's a very productive aquifer. You can drill a well and get very good quality water, good temperature, and seemingly an endless supply.
The supply seems endless because this aquifer refills or recharges itself naturally.
All of the recharge, or all the water in the aquifer, originates from precipitation. That's rainfall, snowfall, anything, water falling from the sky, hitting the ground will eventually infiltrate through the soil and add to the aquifer. In the Carrollton area, the river is the discharge point.
Carrollton Utilities, which provides drinking water to about 2,600 customers across Carroll County, has used the aquifer as its water source for decades.
The first plant was put in the early 70s, where they used the groundwater. We had an upgrade of the plant in the 90s, and then just recently we upgraded again. And the reason we use it is the water from the aquifer is consistent. The water quality is good. Temperature is always pretty much the same.
And thankfully, demand never exceeds supply.
Carrollton Utilities produces between 700,000 and 800,000 gallons of water per day. That's kind of an average use. It goes up, of course, in the summer when people are doing summer things, and in the winter it drops. But our maximum that we can produce is about 1.5 million.
So how does the water get to the tap?
Basically, the process is fairly simple. We have 3 wells, which we withdraw the water from the aquifer. We pump that through one pipe into our plant. At that point, the water goes through what we call air strippers.
Air stripping is the process of moving air through the water in a large tank filled with packing material, in this case plastic balls, to remove harmful chemicals.
Once the water gets out of the air strippers, it goes into our ion exchange system, which is basically 3 big pressure vessels. There is some medium in there, which then is charged with the positive ions, and it goes through those, and as it goes through, it changes the sodium, reacts with the water and takes out the hardness, and what comes out is a very pure, very soft water that we give to our customers via our distribution system.
Frequent testing is important to make sure the water quality remains high.
We actually test the raw water, the groundwater, as it comes out, see what its makeup is. As it goes through each process in our plant, it's tested to make sure that we're keeping up with the latest federal and state regulations. And every day we go out and test at different spots in the system to make sure that the chlorine residual is good, within limits. We add fluoride for your teeth.
And after the water is treated and tested, it's pumped to 2 large tanks that sit on a hill at General Butler State Park. From there, with the help of gravity, the water travels via PVC pipes throughout Carrollton and across the county to supply the community with fresh, clean, potable water. Not only does the aquifer provide Carroll County with plenty of drinking water, it's the reason many industries decided to locate to the region.
You have a lot of steel production, the chemical industries. Dow Corning, for example, is one of the largest groundwater users in the area, and it's very important for them in their production, and the economy of that location makes it attractive for them to be there.
High-quality groundwater attracts industry, which in turn provides crucial jobs for our community. With so much invested in the area, and with such emphasis placed on the need for clean, plentiful groundwater, it's more important than ever for each individual to protect this valuable resource.
You can't think that you're just not in an area that's impacted, and by throwing your used motor oil on the ground, even if it's back up against the hill in a hole that drains quickly and is out of sight, that can still end up in somebody's well, whether it's Carrollton Utilities wells or the farmer that lives just a half a mile down the road. That can impact the quality of his water and make it unusable.
Well, I know you've heard it a million times, but it's everybody's responsibility to take care of the land, the water, especially since we are using it here in Carroll County as our drinking water. It's so vitally important that everybody knows about it and that everybody works as hard as they can to take care of it.
Clean water gives life and health. Thanks to the alluvial aquifer below, we live in an area where this kind of water is plentiful. Let's protect it so we can reap the benefits for centuries to come.